Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Well, did you know I'm taking a class? I am taking a knitting class. Yes, I know how to knit and I know how to crochet. I've been doing both for literally decades, but I'm taking a brioche class to learn different skills and techniques because you know what? There's always another way to do something. There's always some other fancy way to make the yarn move and add color and pattern and techniques. And I figured why not take a class? So last week I showed my pattern swatch that I was working on, right? I just had, it's like this big. I'm using the black and white, very good contrast and everything. This was part of the class supplies we were given to work with and told to show up with size 7 needles. And for the class, it even came with the book. All right, this is Nancy Marchant's book, Knitting Fresh Brioche, 75 unique stitches, 12 stunning wraps and scarves, right? And the goal is to get us in the class to where we can cast on and start a project. There's 5 classes in it. I've done 2 classes right now. So we have learned how, we were learning this week was how to do the Italian cast on. Even when you do it right, it looks wrong. It's just different. You know, it's like anything else when you're first learning it. You know, your stitches are wonky, they're crooked, they're misshapen, they're whatever. That's what we're doing. We're having a blast. That's it. So we got to do that and learning how to do brioche in the round, right? Doing your brioche knit and your brioche purl stitches in the round. Well, then I started doing a little bit of increasing and decreasing with it. And here is my test piece that I'm working on right now. Isn't that cool? So this down here, I cast on, I don't know if you can see that. That cast on is really kind of interesting, right? It's very stretchy. It's like, it just starts, if that makes any sense. Your knitting starts. It's not like you've got a good, like if we do a long tail cast on or something like that, you have a good solid base. The Italian cast on, it's almost like a tubular cast on kind of a look anyway. Well, I've never mastered that one either. I have to look at that one every time too. But look at that. So this is just the brioche right here. Light on this side, dark color on this side, same thing, right? So it is completely reversible. And then after I did a few rounds of that, and you know what? Doing it in the round is a lot easier than doing it in back and forth flat. I mean, neither one of them are hard. They're different. They're just different. So then I started doing some increases. This is an increase right here. And then doing some decreases over here. You can see this one the best right here. It goes up right here and like that, right? So that's the decrease and creating a little bit of a pattern. So I thought that was fun. For homework for this week for my particular class, she wants us to, and I'll probably do it on a different set of yarn. She wants us to continue to practice our casting on and starting the first couple rounds. So I've got some other needles. I might do that with some other needles, cast on, do like 2 or 3 rounds, rip it out and do the same thing. And I mean, I can rip this out and do it too. That's fine too. But I wanted to show it to you first before I ripped it out. It's much better to see it than just to tell you, I did it, honest. Yeah. So the reason she wants us to come back with something on your needles in the round is we're going to start practicing doing different bind off techniques. So we have homework again. There you go. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the social aspect of taking a class. I'm enjoying the you know, the community as far as we're all learning the same thing. And I'm also having fun flipping through my book. And I've got more than one of her books. I might grab one of the other ones too, just to see what I've got, because I know I've got 2 of her books. And then I'm trying to decide what pattern I want to make. And do I want to make a shawl, a scarf, a hat? I mean, this thing, if I don't pull it out, it could be a kid's hat, don't you think? I mean, it'd be really pretty. But yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do. And then I was looking at some of the stitch patterns in here, and I'm a bit extra. So I'm like, which one looks the hardest? That's not how you should pick patterns, by the way. That's not how you should do that. But that's what I'm looking at. And then I looked at what I thought was one of the hardest ones. And I'm like, do I really want to do that to myself? So I've done this one before. That one was, and I made a scarf. That was my first ever brioche piece. And I did that in 2016. And it's the only thing in brioche I've ever done. And I made a scarf with that. And it was, you know, orange on one side, gray on the other. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. And of course I gave it away because that's what I do. You know, and then I didn't do any more brioche, right? So that's why I'm taking the class, because it's not like I remember. You know, it's when you look at different symbols and stuff like that, it's like, well, what is that? I don't know. I don't remember. So I like that stitch pattern right there. That looks positively complicated and, you know, all kinds of extra. So I do like that one. And I'm contemplating that. But then I look at the chart for it and I don't remember the chart symbols. I mean, okay, it's just like any other stuff, whether it's knitting or crocheting. And I grew up learning how to crochet with the symbols. But it's like any of the other stuff. You just give yourself a little bit of a break. You look at the key. You do that until you get it memorized. And you keep going back and forth. And they have certain ones will, I'm trying to find the pattern that I think, yeah, this one. Certain ones will come out and you'll recognize them more. So I like that. And they have this one listed, you know, man scarf. Obviously, it can be anyone, right? But they have a guy modeling it. And I like that pattern a lot. And it looks pretty daunting. So I'm trying to talk myself out of it. See, look. See? There's the gentleman with it. Isn't that pretty? And I don't know if it's the pattern 100% that I'm in love with, or the fact that they're using gradient yarn and then a solid. So not only do you have the brioche, which is stunning, you've got the gradient going through matched with that solid that just really steps the game up even more. So I think that might be part of it too. I should probably stick with something that is semi-simpler than that, you know, for working on a project and then try to figure something out. Part of it, I'm not sure what I want to make with it. I'm really not. Do I want to do a scarf, a flat scarf? I know it's starting to, I say it's starting to get warmer. I mean, it's February. In Colorado, we can get snowstorms on Mother's Day. Not a joke. It's happened multiple years, right? And later in the year. So just because there's absolutely no, well, we've got some snow on the ground, but it's not bad, right? Just because, you know, it's the roads and everything are all clear doesn't mean we're completely out of the woods. Not by a long shot. So, you know, a scarf's not necessarily a bad thing. It would get more use next year just because it'll take me a while to get it done. But, you know, that's an option, or a cowl. And then what kind of yarn? I'm loving the whole gradient idea. I moved my yarn. I've got 2 skeins of this. Remember, I'm doing my emotional support chicken and I'm using the other yarn, but I have 2 of this Noro. And if I did this and then another color like that one shows, right? Maybe I could do a white or a cream, you know, maybe not a stark white, maybe a cream, I don't know, but something that's really going to set that off. And then having it gradiate with those gorgeous colors, you know, that might not be bad because there's a lot of black in here too. So that's going to really pop. And these dark colors, that's actually a pretty good idea. You know, this one has, this is the Noro Silk Garden. It's 45% silk, 45% mohair, 10% wool. I think I could pair this up with a nice alpaca or a merino wool or something that's softer. This doesn't feel bad, but it's not the butter soft that some things are, but I do like the feel of it. And I think pairing this up with something that is even softer, buttery soft, with those gorgeous colors would be a beautiful, beautiful piece. So that might be an idea. I'm really liking the gradients. That's what I'm doing with my emotional support chicken. I wanted something that color changing, right? Not a solid stripe, but just blends in with something else and everything and moves along like that. That's what I was looking for. So right now, that's what's calling to me. We'll see. So I think we're going to start working on, once we learn the binding off next week, then we're going to start picking out a pattern. I might, just because I'm like that, maybe not. I don't know. so far I have stayed with the class. I have not gone ahead, right? But I might see if I can cast on, see if I can play around, grab some yarn, maybe this yarn, maybe some waste yarn or something, just kind of play around with it, take like a snippet of whatever pattern I'm going to use and see if I can do it. See if I can remember how to do it, read the book. Read the book. Oh my gosh, read the directions, woman. It's not that hard. You know, do something along that line, and going for the class for the reinforcement, going for the class to make sure that I'm executing the stitches and everything the way that I should be, right? But it's a lot of fun. I am finding that this is wonderful. Taking a class for something that I don't normally do is a lot of fun. So now I'm kind of like scouring, so to speak, and looking at what other classes would I be interested in. You know, obviously the brioche I haven't done since 2016, so of course that tickled my fancy. I know like Russian lace, the Orenburg lace, that one gets me. You know, doing things that are more on the I'll have to show you some of that one day. But doing things that are a little bit more out of the ordinary, I think, are the ones that get me. And those are not the ones that are taught all the time, because oddballs like me are the ones that go for that, but not the norm, right? Most people are looking at, how do I knit? How do I crochet? Let me do my first project. Let's work with that. And I'm like, I don't want that one. I want the crazy one. I want the difficult one. I want the advanced thing. I want the, you know, the stuff that people are afraid of. To me, this is so stunning and it's intimidating. It's not hard. It's not hard, but it looks intimidating. And, you know, for that, I did the one piece and then set it down because it's not hard. You can do it. If you want to do it, don't let anyone tell you you can't. Don't let anyone say, oh, that's too hard. You're not good enough. You don't have the skills. Yes, you can. One stitch at a time. Just relax. Read the book. There's a lot of, right now, there are so many more resources available. Even if you're not around to take a class, you can purchase video classes. You can find other things on YouTube. You can find other resources that I didn't necessarily have when I first, well, actually I did. I bought a Craftsy class from the person who wrote the book, right? And that's why I was able to make the scarf. But you do have options, even if you don't have a physical class around you. But don't ever let anybody tell you anything in the crafting world is too hard for you, because it's not. You can do it. Yet it's just that will and that drive, but you've got this, you know. And I'm not even going to say if I can do it, you can do it. No, it has nothing to do with what anyone else can do. You have that ability in and of yourself, regardless of what anyone else does. Well, with that, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and let you go and probably put a few more rounds on my practice piece just to cement those stitches and everything, and make sure that I understand them. All right, you guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.